Hi Priyanka,
Hi, Kavita.
how are you?
I'm good. I'm good. How about you?
I'm doing well. Okay, so I'm so excited for this interview.
Me too,
You're,
me too.
is this your first interview?
Yes. Nobody interviewed me before. I have so much to tell, but yeah. No, this is my first one. It is indeed my first one to do.
Well,
Yes.
now you have your own podcast, so you're going to soon likely be interviewed by more people. So enjoy this
I hope
experience.
so. I hope so. I hope so. Yes.
Awesome. Okay, so for everybody who's watching or listening to the podcast, just a brief introduction. I'll let Priyanka introduce herself, but just from my perspective, I've been working with Priyanka for about 23 weeks now. She's in her second program, almost wrapping up and doing pretty amazing there. We're going to talk about it. And I know her, she's a friend. And, if you see her or if you interact with her, you're going to know she's such a high spirited, creative, artistic, and yet professional. Like she's a mix of like all of those things together. I don't know how she balances them all, but when I really think about the coaching that we've had together, I think I've been super amazed by the commitment she's shown for her own growth and just the depth of discussions we've had in coaching. Like I remember first couple of weeks and I introduced one tool to her which takes people some time to really understand, and she was already in it and like deep into it and discussing the nuances of it. So I was like, okay, this is going to be very interesting. So I've enjoyed coaching you, Priyanka, so much, which is why I'm so excited to bring you here and let others also talk about and see what's possible for them through the coaching experience. So thank you so much for agreeing for this interview, and I would love to hear from you. Introduce yourself
Yeah.
to the audience.
Yeah, it's my pleasure actually. So, hello, I am Priyanka Ingle. I am a business consultant by profession. I have almost like more than 10 years of experience in job. I'm currently in a role called customer journey expert for a very big global bank. Actually, it's not. It's a new job for me. It's been 6 months, but yeah, of course, I always worked in this financial industry. I'm an aspirer, looking for new things all the time. I enjoy a lot of new things. I'm artist at heart. Do a lot of creative small things here and there whenever I can. Currently residing in Netherlands, but I come from Maharashtra. Now my family is from there. I'm married to my batchmate, who's a Bong, a typical Bong, and I'm a mother of two little ones, a daughter and son. So blessed with the whole gamut of all the mixtures that you can have in a family. And yeah, in life, I'm in constant looking forward to make things simple for me, making it easier. I don't want any stress. I just want to enjoy the life. That's what is my mantra. Yeah.
Wonderful. And tell us the ages of your kids.
Oh, the my son is 3.5, and the little one is just one. She just had her birthday in March first week, so she's 1 year old now. So both are growing up fast. Yes.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing. And the reason I ask this, Priyanka, is because a lot of women think that when you have, first of all, two kids, and that too, like one as young as less than 1 year old, that it's not even the time to think about your career or other goals and that you have to sacrifice. And that's, I think, a wonderful example you have set through this entire experience that that's not truth. That's a myth that we tell ourselves. So, everybody,
Yes.
you're going to listen to our story. Just keep the context of two little kids, less than 1 year old, crying in the background in COVID.
Yeah.
And just like how she's made this happen in that context. So, that would be pretty amazing context. Okay, so Priyanka, you've done two programs now, right?
Yeah.
The first program we did with you was the Rockstar Women coaching program, which was focused on just helping you learn how to manage your emotions, gain emotional strength internally, so you can start celebrating and enjoying life and understanding relationships and connecting with other people in a way that brings you alive, rather than holds you back. So that was the first program you did, and now you're doing the time management program. So we'll talk about each of them separately because they're very different in the context.
Yeah.
Um, but I would love to just for everybody to know the story of how you joined. Like, tell
Uh,
everybody on how you came up and requested
yeah.
me
Okay.
about, to join the program.
Okay. Yeah. I would love to share that. It already feels like so, like a year back. Feels like an era for me already, like, okay, I have to think about the time. But yeah, as I told you that I am currently in Netherlands. So last few years has been like a lot of things happening in my life. I shifted geographically to a foreign location. Personally also, I took up very, very different new roles in my job. Um, my family grew. I suddenly had a very new role to play apart from being a like a daughter or a partner or a sister, just a new like hat you have, and that's motherhood. And completely new because nobody knows actually what a parenthood means, it's completely new. So I was going through that, and suddenly I don't know, I still don't know, but a lot of factors came in, and I found myself really struggling with these new equations, and in the relationships as well a new dynamics was forming, but I was struggling there. What was alarming was that I certainly found that there's a vicious cycle going on in terms of how I was thinking. And if Kavita knows me, I'm not a very like cry baby kind of a person. I'm really a strong one. I generally go for things I want. And me thinking negatively and on a repetitive pattern was getting me those, ding, 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 ding signals to me. And that was quite, and there was a point I really, it was a shattering feeling. I still, like my heart drops a bit when I say that I had a feeling that nobody understands me. You can imagine like a lady of 32, 34 years there, and she suddenly feels there's nobody who can understand her, and not yourself, me, myself was finding it difficult to connect to myself. And but there was one thing which I told Kavita, that I knew that I have to help myself. That feeling was the foremost feeling. I think that was also the turning point for me, that I have to solve this. I have to, and it was subconsciously going on. Though I was reacting a lot of negative way and everything, but I was like, okay, I have to stop it. I have to stop it. Somehow I have to stop it. And I don't know, one day, I think my maternity leave was still there or going on. And I was just like scrolling through FB, and because Kavita is a friend, you always see what she's doing. And I don't know, actually, I was not following it, but some magic happened. She showed up on my FB page, and I looked at one of her typical blogs she writes, like some photo, and then she will tell about some funda of coaching and how some story, something was that. Even I don't remember that. I'll tell you, I saw her photo and I saw a reflection. She's my peer in a way, She's seen the corporate world. She is also a mother, and she also, by the way, we both have batchmates, our partners, so we know that, we have a that way. And I saw that her photo, the smile she had, the confidence she has, and there was something that warmth there, and as Kavita's words, it's all my thoughts. It was my thoughts. I felt that, and there was this instant gut feeling that this is the one. Just maybe just have the courage, Priyanka, to give her a call. And I just check her website to find out what her contact details was, and of course the number was easy to find. I just thought this just get me into that call. And I remember I just called you up, and I think I just told what it was. There was nothing to hide, and I told it what felt like.
Yeah.
You just explain a bit about coaching and how it can help, but there was this a very good mix of your warmth as a friend, as a coach, and a professionalism attached to it. So it was a good mix for me, because I didn't want a friend to call and cry about. I wanted to really help.
Yeah.
And I thought, the professionalism that you took my call as a friend, but you dealt me as a professional. That was very nice for me. And then I was like, okay, then I go for it. And I really wanted to take myself seriously. And after talking to you, I saw that you are also taking me seriously. That's what I want. And you explained me something about coaching. Honestly, that time I didn't know what it is.
Had no idea what I was talking
I'm
about.
like, okay, she's giving some GAN. After all, we are MBAs with all the GAN we have. Like some GAN she's giving, but I know she has some proper certifications or something. So he knows what she's talking about. Let me figure it out later on, but she can help me. And I was determined to help myself. That's the thought, I think, was the changing thing. And even with Corona lockdown, we had like serious lockdown here, and I just joined a new job with my little one still there, like she was just born, and she was, and with and the fact that the investment, the financial investment that I had to put in was a little bit higher than I had thought of. There were so many things, but still I knew that I wanted to help myself, and then I followed it, just the
Yeah,
gut.
and I think that's the biggest takeaway, right, Priyanka, that you took yourself seriously. You followed that gut feeling which said that I need help and I'm going to get the help I need. A
Yeah,
lot of women don't follow that gut feeling. A lot of women don't take that leap. And I
yeah,
think that's where it's a direct sort of result. Like I keep saying every time that you create all your results,
yeah,
that's the direct result you created, Priyanka. Because if
yeah,
you didn't have a thought that I will take myself seriously, I will help myself, you would have never signed up, you would have never come, you would have never joined the second program, and you
yeah, yeah,
never created these results. So that's, I
yeah.
think, is such an example that is there for everybody.
Yeah. No, I think we all know that, we we have heard about those quotes, like nobody can help you unless you want to help yourself, right? But sometimes we don't even understand the meaning of it. This is what I mean. This is a very good one, that when you are like stuck, you can blame hundred of other people and hundred of other circumstances that are creating that, but ultimately it's just you. And I always felt it that way, I think, somewhere down. But with now with the programs, I think I'm sure about it, that it's you and only you. Yeah.
Perfect. Okay, so tell us about your experience of the program. What have been the key takeaways? What have been key learnings that you have had in the first program? We'll talk about the
Yeah,
government coaching.
yeah. No, I told you I was in that vicious thought. So I had certain relationships. I was just looking at the like negative, and it was just getting more and more and more. And I was already challenging some of the bigger decisions I have taken in my life, which is not myself actually. I generally stick to it, and I knew that's the cycle I was talking about. And I wanted a solution, and not just like talking it out or just reading, अच्छा सोचो तो अच्छा हो जाएगा and blah blah. That is not going to work. I needed a little bit more, like, which is application based. You do something, you seek an outcome. And the program, I think the first program has that answer for you. That it is just not about some nice talking words. It is about a tool, a model, which I think at least people like me, and especially with corporate world, and we do serious jobs as well, we are used to seeing concrete things. We are used to make, like, my job is to work on frameworks, and this is what I tell my clients. You should have a framework, your model. You put in this is the input, then these are the lingo I talk, output, input. And I needed something like that for my life as well. And when you in the program talk about a tool, a model where you can put in things and you can see, test it out, that was quite, even if you might think it's intangible, for me, it was quite tangible, that let's put something on this as an input and let's see what it comes out. And then you told about how to tweak it, and let's tweak it and then do it. So it was an iterative thing, but it was quite visible for me. And I think that was most of the people need. I think we need to apply things, see it, and then try to tweak it to the thing that you want. So I got that solution. It has helped me completely a different level of awareness. about my own pattern of thinking, how I come to a conclusion. So that is there. And which was surprising was I had belief system gets challenged. That is something I think everybody who will join your program should be prepared for. You will uncover a lot of things that you don't even know about yourself. That is like, it will be like moments where you're like, that's why I did this, and that can be a disclaimer also. Maybe you have to rethink about some good decisions also in your life. So, so just hang on there. Not
Example there, Priyanka, as you're saying this, just to bring it to life. I know we uncovered quite a few, but
yeah,
anything that sticks out as you're talking about it, the belief that you didn't know about yourself that you had and it was driving you.
yeah. For example, if I talk about the relationships as well, if we'll go into that, and that was one of the things I uncovered about myself, that um, I think I came to it later in second program, but I think it was building up there, that I was always trying to do more. And I already felt that to prove myself, you have to constantly be that high achiever all the time, And there were so many instances in my schooling, in my job career, that was getting derived from that. So I could not chill, really chill. That is not me. And that is because I somehow believed that you can make a mark in your life only if you're like super speed, like that. That was something I came to know, that I am trying to connect everything to that. And then I'm trying to find the peace and my nirvana moment. That's not going to happen, so there is a disconnect between what I really believe and what I'm trying to achieve. So I have to get it in tune. And that was one of the things, when you talked about, like, there is a very pertinent question you asked. I still remember about the purpose in life. What do you think about the life purpose? And we have such a, like, a hollow thing, we want to sound right, and we don't want to say something which is maybe very simple, you know because you think maybe simple is not great or something like that. And when you ask that question, it really hit me so hard. I still remember that I have so much of complex beliefs there that I can't chill because of that. I'm thinking of doing something else and not able to enjoy the moment. So I have heard about this, enjoying moment, enjoying life. I do want to do it, but my belief system was stopping me there. And after that conversation we had a couple of times, I don't say that I have completely figured it out, but I now know the way. And every day I'm uncovering, because, as I said, there are certain things which are very, very deep in you. And with so many years passed by, it is like quite deep. But that awareness and to dig it up, to courage to have that dig it up, was given by you in that program. That is the biggest takeaway, and that I can apply to a lot of things now. A lot of things in professional or anything I want to do, by I want to improve, I can like keep applying it now. So that is very great about the
Yeah,
program.
and I think and I think this is one of the common one as I coach women leaders, Priyanka, that it's just hard for us to chill. We just keep telling ourselves we have to keep going, going, going. So even if you actually get a break where you don't have anything to do, we struggle to chill. We're like, no, no, we can do this, we can do that. There's constant to-do list running in our mind, and it's like opportunity cost of spending that time. And when and the productivity paradox is actually when you chill is when everything else happens
Yes,
easier.
yes,
So
yes, yes, yes. And I think I generally see things in very gender equal way, but I will still say for this one, I think women have it more, the burden that we carry all the time about trying to fit everything in and trying to do more that way. Somehow, I don't know if you're a male audience, please don't get, but there is an art in sitting in a sofa couch and to see a test match. We have to learn that art just to enjoy each and every ball, with not worrying about what is happening with, like, in the kitchen, in your house, anywhere. that art sometimes we miss because we want to do lot of things. Oh, we are free, okay, let's go run do the laundry, and we are free, let's do something that was pending, in our office, just open the laptop, we keep doing it. We think that's how we'll do more. But at least now, I mean, with the program, I think these are certain things you can really get it simplified. It's not like that. It's not like that. So a lot of things to unlearn as well. So if you really want to unlearn things as well, this program can really help that way.
Got it.
Mm.
Um, so what would you what would have happened if you
Mm.
wouldn't have joined the program? Like just to contrast your pre-experience to post-experience, like if you were to
Mm.
take a stab, what would your life be like if you hadn't joined the program? What's different in your life because you chose or made that decision to invest in yourself?
I think I can't even imagine not choosing it, for to be honest. But yeah, if it have not chosen, I think you would have seen me in a really, I was almost going into the state that medically, into depression, like you think so much negative that you completely go on the extreme side. So I could already see that. So I'm glad that I took it because I could retrace my steps from there. But what is amazing is this constant question about what next in life, like I have already done a big chunk of my job. I have done quite a big milestones, I have shifted things. We have got a new house, some certain things that you want to own materialistically also I have got it. But then you have to think, okay, which direction you have to take. That direction was not clear. So I think I would have been still in that state of unclarity about what steps or what I want to do next. And thirdly, I think my connect with myself was completely getting lost. It would have been completely broken. I think that's completely mended, that I have reconnected with myself, the Priyanka that I know, that I was missing a lot, that got reconnected. So if you're trying to find yourself, you want to find the next steps in your life, if you want to come from a very negative pattern or a breaking point, these three things, something that program can really bring out for me. It did for me, for sure. Yeah.
And that's the consistent thing again from a lot of women, especially those who join when they are at a low point in their career or
Yeah.
life,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Which was the reason in COVID a lot of
Yeah.
clients felt that way.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think what's interesting, and you just said, Priyanka, is the contrast, right? Like a lot of times when clients, they are very, 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 very capable. They
Yeah.
know that they're capable,
Yeah.
know that there are some thought patterns that are causing that issue. But when they let those thought patterns brew, then
Mm.
what happens is they start thinking there's something wrong with them because the momentum starts increasing and
Yeah.
negativity starts increasing. And eventually they go to the side of needing therapy or needing
Yeah.
even, like taking pills for medication and
Mm.
depression and all of that. And that's, I think, the contrast that if you are feeling that way, like see the contrast that while if you wouldn't have done that, you would have gone that side and you wouldn't have still had to spend
Mm.
money on taking care of yourself, but that would have been
Yes.
reactive. But now
Reactive. Yes.
you chose something proactively. Not only did it help you feel better and get in control of your life, but
Yeah.
starting to actually take advantage of all of that to really think about your bold goals that you haven't even thought about,
Yes.
like the CXO
Yes.
goal
Yes.
and the
Yes.
podcast,
Yeah.
right? That I think for me is like huge. And
Yeah.
that's what I tell people. Like, you have to spend money on mental fitness anyway. Do you want to
Yeah.
do that proactively by investing in your own growth, or do you want to do that reactively in medication costs and doctor fees and all of that? So I
Yeah.
think,
Yeah. And like, okay, for me at least, I told you I was reaching that kind of a tipping point, but I think I can imagine, if you even if you're doing great, but you want to do more, there is so much capability in you, you want to harness it and you want to go into the next level. Even if you're doing great, I think the coaching program, the first one that you told, is still quite fundamental, I feel. So no matter from where you are entering into the program, maybe from a low point or a high point, but I think it will still help you. I think that's not a problem, because I come from a little bit of a low side, but I think I can imagine. Like my second program was from a high point, and I can see it. So from the high point, I'm trying to reach the greater heights that I wanted. So it is overall the coaching as a thing. I think it can work for both the things. Make yourself like really, really there, or if you're like really feeling low, just pick yourself up. Though both can be
Yeah.
helpful.
And in coaching world, they say coaching meets you where you are. So that's a good way of saying it. Wherever
Huh?
you are, it's going to lift you up. If you're here,
Yeah.
it's going to lift you up even further. If you're here, it's going to get you up here. And then if you continue going up, that's where you're in.
Yes, 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 yes. That's my experience.
The way you've progressed, frankly, through these weeks, through those 23 weeks you've had together is like phenomenal. You've come from that to completely aggressive goals. Your trajectory has been quite interesting.
Now, if you have to bring out the guns, make out the big guns. Why think small? Then that's what. Well, yeah. But I didn't come with that mindset. As I was explaining, I came from a way I wanted to get certain things sorted out. But the result was that not only I sorted it out, I started finding the next things that I really wanted to do, and what we come up in the outcome that I really want to go for my CXO thingy, or I want to try new things, was completely not in my radar, because that time I was not thinking that way. So actually coaching, the surprise at the end of the program can be, I think most of us will find ourselves facing a surprise, because the journey is very, very mystical, and the way you are built in from inside is quite a mystery for yourself. So when you uncover things, you will surprise yourself for sure. I am sure about it, that if you come in and then after 12 weeks you will surprise yourself.
And you're ending the second term, so you're going to surprise yourself again.
Yeah, again. Yes.
Awesome. Okay. So tell me some fun moment. Like, what's your fun memory or aha moment from the program, from the first program?
Yeah. First of all, yeah, in case you think it's like something that you might have seen in TV, like you come and there is somebody sitting there with a like this and writing up. That's not how Kavita does it. At least Kavita doesn't do it. So she will be all excited and she will cheer you up also in case you have come on, with some context and you're not feeling that up. So it is fluid. At least the sessions are very fluid. They are tuned to the way you are, so the kind of person you are, so that's quite customized that way. And in terms of the modules or the sections that Kavita discusses, I think for me my problem area that I came was most of related to relationships, and that's why the relationship model also stuck a little bit more to me, I think so, because I think my fundamentals were about relationship was such a fogged up, really fogged up. So like really, I didn't know that uh, what kind of things we are fed into. It's all about, the external world and the interaction we have about the things that we are being told about relationships is something that is not serving us for sure. So with the program, I think I got like really sorting things or sorting thought process, and relationship is completely different in my mind now. Now the downside of it is that it really Kavita just sucks up the old romance inside it, because I thought, I was lucky that during my school days and even my college days, there were people who admired me, and I always thought I had something special in me, and I'm like, okay. But after this relationship model, she just shatters that romance out of you. He will make it that it is nothing like that. It's just about them and how they feel about you. And the beauty is in the beholder and not you. So suddenly you will be ripped of your all fond memories of like all the Romeos you had and who used to sit like for you and used to call you or woo you. She will just rip it off. And after that, and by the way, I am a very big Shah Rukh fan. So after that, if you see any of your Shah Rukh movies or any other actor that you like, you're like, okay, It's nothing great, it's just about the thoughts, and this is how the relationship goes. And that's what happens. So I beware that all the Bollywood movies, all the rom-coms that you watch are gonna be like ruined for life, because now after this movie, every time you see it is all the thoughts, all the thoughts. Kavita, ये
So
Kavita Mata ki jai. So you,
so
that is what
funny.
will run in your mind.
You
So
know what we should do, Priyanka? We should probably make a movie, like with now new beliefs about relationships. So when the person says, I love you, you're saying, no, no, you don't love me. You love your thoughts about you. You're feeling your own. It's going to be such a funny rom com. We'll
like
create
you're such a
our own version
buzzkill.
of rom com that have truths that don't mess up our understanding of relationships and have us like completely getting relationships wrong.
Any of Kavita's clients or the prospect clients, if you are finding love in your life, just a little bit stay away from this model, or just have a pinch of salt with you, because you have to keep reminding that no, there is love in the air, and there is like pink shades of are there in life. So please, Kavita,
I
at
don't
least
even know if people will be able to understand that because they haven't done the module. But let me
so
just
you have to do
simplify
it.
for them.
And
Let me just give them like one of the belief that we have in relationship module is that others, it, what others think about you is 100% about them. It's not about you. And when you're feeling love, you it's because of your thoughts, it's not because of the other person's thoughts. I think so far in the love rom-coms we always hear I love you, my love for you is like immense and blah blah, he loves me. But when you really break it down, what you're saying when I say I love you is it means I am having loving thoughts about you, and that's why I feel love. It has got nothing to do with you, it's got everything to do with my own thoughts about you, which can be anything. You can be like a
yeah,
pathetic person, but I think loving thoughts, and you can be an amazing person but I don't think loving thoughts,
yeah,
right?
yes.
And that's just so you guys know
So
that's
this all this, I think you call it absolute lovability. I think,
unconditional love.
yeah. So it's completely can flip your romantic life. So beware, beware.
Love it. Awesome. How do you feel about doing this work? Like, how do you feel about yourself having done this deeper work on pulling out your beliefs and changing them and gaining this awareness? How do you feel about that?
First of all, it's not easy. Okay, you have to face your own like demons as well, and as we don't have everything white. You have a little bit of all gray shades in you, so you have to face it. But I think unless you face it, you cannot again accept it. You don't have to change it. I think that's very clear. And if you go through the program, you'll understand that more and more, that it's just about accepting it more. And now I feel so much confident about myself. And the only regret I have is, if would have I would have started it like years back, when I was, there are so many things I've done, but if would have I had the support of coaching, I would have already done so many things. But nonetheless, I think there's always a starting point. So if you want this first step of your journey to start, of that amazing life that you always wanted, this is the stuff. First steps. The first step is to go to Kavita's and just give her a call that, do you have a slot for me? That's the first step, I think. So
You're doing such good marketing for me.
yeah, no, I
Love
think
it.
why not? Because for me it started that way. Just about a call away, and then you can see it there. I feel so much confident. I I I am discovering myself, which is, I think, the way to, again, now later on, accepting yourself more and loving yourself more. So the program is at least helping me to uncover, because unless you really know yourself, you can't do that kind of a work. So the deeper work that you're talking about is really knowing yourself, knowing
Totally.
thoughts, you knowing how do you come to certain like process of really processing information that comes in, and how do your brain works around it. So that's the deeper work. It's challenging, um, but I think it's made a little bit easier with the way you're structured it, and there's a certain sheets you give, because even if you can't just sit and think about it, eh? That's what we have been doing before the program also. It did not help. So the structure that you come with, the modules and the sheets or some activities that you give, it's gonna make it, that's makes made it for easy for me. Without that, I think I would have just listened to it but not applied it. I think, yeah.
And that's so right. That's a lot that happens with podcast, right? Like people think that, oh, I know what concepts you're going to teach. Like people sometimes
Yeah.
think what's going to be different, but they have no idea. It's like completely different. Applying it in your life and just knowing it and listening it is very, very different. So
Very different. Yes, yes, yes. Indeed, indeed. I agree.
awesome. So let's move on to the second program. Okay. So we did
Yes.
this work for 12 weeks. She gained ton of confidence, right? And you started to see relationships differently. It started to affect your relationship with your kids and your,
Yeah.
especially your spouse and even other professionals. We talked
Yeah,
about
yeah,
your
yeah, yeah,
relationship
yeah.
with
Yeah.
other people at workplace too. And then we moved on and started exploring what next for you, which is where you dared to start talking about CXO. I still remember there was a little bit of like, am I
Yeah.
doing too much? Can I be a CXO? Is it
Yes.
something there in me?
Yeah.
And you've come very far from just kind of being able to say
Yeah.
CXO.
Yes, 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 yes. Yeah, yeah, it was,
Yeah, I have a
it was difficult, and it still is, I'm trying to accept it. But the thing is, the more I say it, I more and more I'm gonna believe it. That's gonna be there. But yeah, I didn't even think that I really wanted it, or I didn't even dare sometimes to dream that way. But now I think that's what I talked about, that I want to go for that CXO goal of mine. And then I wanted to go for the next leap, that, okay, now the fundamentals are getting okay. I know how the model is going to work for me. Now I can choose a lot of things I want, and this is what I have chosen. But then there are certain elements that for my goal I need to sort out. And I think time is something that is with all of us, and then and it is quite concrete in a way also, because you see it ticking, you see it going, passing away that way. So, but you want, it's a factor in a lot of things. This is quite a prime resource for everyone, and I think and it's quite related to decision making also. You have a time, you have some resources, then you have to manage it. And with my CXO goal, there it is a fit, because that is something I need to sort out. And I didn't think that I'm doing it well. And when you introduced me that, do you want to go to that program? I was still a little bit hesitant. Okay, I have done a program. I know a lot of things now which I can apply. But what was very, very, very like bold of you was that you really promise a concrete, like, hours in your, that you will get X amount of hours for these things that you wanted. So that was quite tangible. So that was a kind of a contradiction. But program one is a lot of groundwork, and something that comes from within. But if you want to really see some outcomes and really tangible outcomes, I think time one that I'm doing right now is more concrete. And I took it a kind of a challenge as well, that let's see how it works. Because I really thought in the first day of the program, she's making, now this time she's making big promises. Program one, she knew her stuff. But this is like she's just going a little bit ahead of her. And like, really, let's see, because yeah, you are a friend also. So it's like, okay, there's no problem. But I think let's challenge her in a way that, okay, I want these many hours. And I remember we do it this way, right? You tell, like, what hours do you want for what activity, and what do you want it to spend. And I just chose whatever I wanted. Like, let's just put it there.
15 hours, 15 plus,
Yeah, yeah.
more than
I think
that.
15 hours. And you told the audience, new job, working from home, two kids and a partner and other things. And
And no help, no daycare.
yes, and no help, no
Kids at
daycare,
home background.
So all that done. So I have to do a lot of things. And I really wanted like 15 hours more in my life. So
Every
every week, that too. So that was like, I thought it's a big challenge, and let's do it. And I didn't know what it will be, but and that's what I was like, because it's concrete, I went to the program.
Yeah, and I think what's interesting is that as we ended our 12 weeks with you, when we started talking about if you can do anything, what is it that you want? And you said CXO, the biggest gap between where you want to get to and where you are is how do you find time to invest in yourself and your own projects and your own learning
Exactly.
so you can get there. And we said, okay,
Yes.
time is the problem. And then that's when I offered, I'm like, I promise clients that I'm going to get them 10 plus hours every week. That's my program and join me. And I remember the look at your face, Priyanka. You were like how? Like I don't even
Yes.
have time for my fitness. I can't even
This
do
is,
exercise.
yeah.
How are you going to do this and get me hours every week?
Yes.
You remember
And
that?
I don't even watch like the with Corona. I think people are like binge watching like crazy. Everybody's like watching so much of this OTT platform, and I was like, I didn't get 10 minutes of it. That's what my thing, and I just put it in there. Like, show me how can I do that? That way, and that was on a personal side. But as you said, there was a gap. So if I want to become that CXO, I envision I have to do a lot of other things for my own improvement in terms of I want to work on it, so that I get ready for the next levels that are coming up. And that means a lot of hours for myself, really myself. And I didn't have it in my calendar. And you told that 10 plus hours is going to come in. Quite exciting, and worth trying for sure. So that was my thing, that worth trying for sure.
Yeah. And then you, in the first session, when we talked about how many hours you want, you actually set up 15, that I want 15 plus hours. And I want to tell everybody that this was her kind of coming in with like disbelief, but really believing maybe it is possible because Kavita has delivered it on the first one. So let's just give it a try, but not really believing it fully. And saying sentences, I remember the sentences you said in that session. I noted it down so I can show you how far you've come. I don't have enough time for myself. I will have to sacrifice something to get something else. It's difficult to find time with two kids. Like those were all your thoughts, but you were like, okay, but I still want 15 plus hours. Let's see how you get it. And I
Yes,
think the
yes, yes.
contrast that I want to talk about is how far you've come. Like I remember when we did our 6 week check-in, you'd
Yeah,
already started spending those 8 hours
yeah. Yes,
on
I think,
on your goals.
yeah, I think fifth or sixth week, my calendar and schedules were already like falling into place, and I think most of the things that I wanted to spend my time on was already happening there. You know, it's it is magic in a way. That's what I was gonna say. But yeah, it's not magic. It's quite foolproof that way. But yeah, I things have appeared in my calendar, and not just not appeared as a slot, but I'm really executing it. And I think we talked about 15 hours, 15 hours. I think 90% of it is already achieved. So I'm doing it regularly now, not like one time or two times, but on a weekly basis, like for like 4 5 weeks, I'm already doing it. It feels so good. It is really a feeling you should, I cannot even tell it. You have to go through it to really find time for things that you want is amazing. It's really amazing. Yes.
And we haven't even finished the full program.
Yes.
And you're already spending, I think, 12 to
Yeah.
13 hours every week, which you didn't
Yeah.
even think you had them, but now you're spending them on
Yes.
concrete things. So tell us about what are you doing with all those extra 12, 13 hours every week?
I am watching TV. It sounds so small, but I had this thing that okay, my kids are taking away my time. I don't want any TV, watch TV. But amazingly, I fit it in my calendar. Um, there are times that I want to watch something, and to be honest, now I feel it's so easy in today's world. It's especially with Corona also, it's so easy. We have digital things so much handy that anything that you want to do, even if with restrictions, you can do it. So that's there. My fitness, because you can imagine I had babies like for last 2 3 years. I've been in baby world, and my body also went through a lot of things. So for me, the fitness needs to come up so that I become more healthier, and I have to have the energy to play with my kids. So like they can really make you run for a while. So I want to be more healthy, and for that I needed fitness time, and I have now I do it every week, whatever hours we have. I have it was zero. So from zero to I'm doing it regularly now, and you will see in the coming months you can really see results also there. Like if you really want to see physical results as well, you will be able to see it. Last couple of months also I have seen people, because I'm doing it regularly, so I get compliments already from my friends that they can see a change. And my girl is just like 1 year old, so you can imagine being a mother, just a new mother, and you can see that things are working in fitness. It's great that way. And those three things. And on the CXO thing, I really wanted to do something like a solo project, a project where I can, and I'm quite a creative person, so I wanted to have a balance of it and see that how I work with timelines, how can I structure my things. If I want to produce something, content wise, or some creative thing, how do I work? How do I make things happen? I wanted to check on that. It's like a prep work, you can think, for my bigger role that I'll do later on. And that's what I was thinking about. Okay, what? And I don't know, a podcast came to my mind, and I have no experience. I just listen. I'm a listener, not a producer of content. And it hit me, and I started working on it. And suddenly now things are in place. And in this, after I joined program where I podcast was not even in my radar, now I have started my new channel. My trailer is out. I'm producing content almost 2 weeks now. My episode is already out. You will see more of it. So I'm doing something which is like really on my face, really on the world map. That way I can, and it's all my solo project. So I don't have anybody to blame. It's all my mind, my brain, what I want to do. And I'm really enjoying it also. So that's, and for that you can imagine I need hours, and that hours were there. I needed like 4 or 5 hours concrete to come out, where I can spend my time and schedule to do it. And I've almost done it. I think I'm doing great in that thing. So yeah, these are the certain things I'm spending my time on. Yeah.
Yeah. And
Party also. So
say that again.
I do party also. It's not like I am a isolated. Don't visualize that I'm somebody who's like sitting in a corner in a home. And no, I have friends. They come over. We have gala time also. So I'm doing.
And you're a dancer. Like dancers don't have less energy. Dancers are like, yay, party.
Yeah, yes.
That's
So that's what I have, a mix of everything in my life now. So I'm spending a lot of time things on things that are fun, that are like for your fitness and for your creative things and for bigger professional things as well. So it also sorted my professional calendar as well. I'm doing good with my new job. I'm doing a lot of new things there as well. Yeah.
And like, can you just take a moment to see that you didn't have any time for your fitness or yourself and all these beliefs that you can't find time? And within like less than 10 weeks, you took out time for yourself, for fitness, for taking care of yourself, for watching
Yeah.
TV, for doing your own project, and you released a trailer and a podcast. Like,
Yes. Yes.
which you didn't even think that you could ever do, or it
Yeah.
wasn't even on your radar.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Like, how does it feel? I feel so proud of you. I'm like telling everybody, listen, my client has already released a podcast with the extra time that she's gotten. But how do you feel about coming
No,
so?
I'm a very modest person, Kavita. I don't shout out my achievements, but yeah, no, it feels a little bit surreal also. That when I did release my first episode and everything, but like it really was a moment where like, did I really do it? Like, did I really find time, not compromising or sacrificing anything else? In fact, the other things in my life are are becoming richer. They're more satisfactory. There's so much. My time with kids, parents, work is also so much enjoyable. So it's not like sacrificing. I'm not like doing anything which is taking away something. It's just adding things to it. So it is quite a pride moment for me, and it is really going out also bold for me, in a way that also that I really going a little bit out of my comfort zone, because I've never done it. So it's beyond my things, and it's really asking me to expand my boundaries so I can feel that I'm growing, like really growing as a person. Yes.
Awesome. Awesome. Okay. So we're going to ask you to share the podcast details towards the end. I have
Yeah.
two more questions.
Yeah.
One, what's the what would you like to say to those women who are
Mhm.
on the fence, who like who want more, who know that they have potential for more, but they're like on the fence? Should we make this investment of time and money and
Yeah.
effort in this program? Can we do it? Like, what would you tell them?
Okay. No, honestly, I understand the dilemma, I'll be honest, Kavita, the programs that you're talking about, the coaching concept itself is quite intangible sometimes. And you have never heard anybody doing it in your circle also. That's quite a thing. Most of us operate from things that is quite visible in your peer group or in a known group. The family has never heard about it. So it's just quite like, okay, doing a job which is never done by in your family for like in your family circle. It's just like something picking up a new thing. And if you discuss with anybody in your like inner circle or something, they will not even relate to it. So yeah, what I think most of the times happens, you come to that, you are sure, maybe you think it's okay, but the moment you check with other people who have no idea sometimes, and they also are in a doubt, so they might give you a like a on the face some superficial comment, you might get affected. And if you're especially coming from a low point, like you don't know and you're already feeling a little bit on the front, like the way I was, then you can easily get bogged down on it. But trust me, you have to, for yourself, just pause a bit and think about you're doing it for yourself, and all the people you maybe have to show it to or to yourself, just wait for it and just go with it. It's an investment that is not it is a one that will give you outcomes in a short term as well, and later on it's a long term like a ROI thing, it will come back to you. So if you're in a dilemma, choose the positive side. Don't get bogged down. uh, it is something which is not restricted to one sphere of your life. It is just has a ripple effect everywhere. So 1 hour call in a week and some euros or INRs that you can always you'll keep earning all throughout your life. So don't get worried about it. Um, you just be a narcissist for some time, just for yourself. I'm not that kind of a person, but you what you say, like if you go to an aeroplane, you board, अपना मास्क पहले पहने और फिर बाद में दूसरों को बचाएं, वैसा वाला तो this is like the oxygen mask or the happy gas mask that you need it for your life. So just trust in yourself and trust in testimonies of people who have already done it. So if you want to refer or ask opinion, please ask somebody who has already done it. I think that was helpful. And if you don't have anybody in your circle, just directly talk to the professional. Just directly talk to Kavita directly that this is my dilemma. Then I am sure she can already clarify things for you. So you can always ask 100 more questions. So have the dialogue with her instead of just thinking in your mind. Just have the dialogue. I think she can clarify the investment, the output that you want very, very easily to you. So have that conversation before you decide anything. So I think that will help a lot.
Beautiful,
Yeah.
beautiful. And the last question, I'm conscious I've taken a lot of time. Um, You talked about putting your own mask first, right? And then helping others. But I would love to just flip it. Now that you've done the work,
Mhm.
what do you think? How do you think it has affected your ability to contribute to other people around you? Or overall, what's the impact of Priyanka doing this work and
Mhm.
feeling good herself first on
Mhm.
other people and her ability to contribute to them?
Yeah, you'll not believe that, you actually, it's if you are in the right space, then when you connect to other people as well, you will see the brighter side, you will see the positive. That has really happened. I told you, I came in from a point where a lot of things were getting strained, and I was already making deductions about the circumstances or other people, but it was not like that. And the moment I showed up differently, other things also showed up differently. So if that's gonna happen, and even like, for example, my kids as well, the way I there was some kind of a victim thing that you fall in when you're in motherhood, that, oh, I am doing so much, and I'm getting bogged down. It's very, you will get out of that. You'll I remember, um, like few years back when I had my son, I told one of my friends, I don't know why mothers say, no, it's such a blissful feeling. Oh, I was like heaven, because I never told that. I'll be honest, I never told that. I took it as a serious responsibility, but not an enjoyable thing in my life or a cherishable thing, stage in my life. That has changed a lot. That's really changed a lot. And my motherhood is completely different now. That's really is something different. So my relationships with a lot of other things is also changed, and my with my kids as well, because my victim is gone. Then that mentality is gone, and the negative feeling is gone. The moments I spend with them, and the way they, maybe they don't can't say it, but I'm sure I'm putting so much more energy and love into it. So it is going to be beneficial for my kids itself. So that's what I'm saying, that if you come into a right space, I think other things will also work out that way. That needs to be done. That's why I'm saying that work on yourself first,
Yeah.
and the rest of the world will be automatically sorted out. So don't try to sort the world, sort yourself. Yeah.
Beautiful, beautiful. So, what next for you, Priyanka? Now
For
that
me,
time is in your control, you have almost 15 hours you're going to have by the end of this program every single week. What is possible
yes.
for you?
Of course, my as I said, my podcast is up and running, so I'm quite working on it. It is gonna take some time, because it's really like creative things take a lot of mental energy that way. But I have the time, so I can spend it there. So you can see keep seeing a lot of episodes for myself. I'm gonna continue with my CXO goal. So I'm already thinking about things or skills I have to take up, really like tangible programs also have to take up to work on that. You will see a lot of things on fitness from my end, so because I want to go further to it. And again, the same thing, the ripple effect, I want to do it myself, so that I can also help my kids, my partner, my family as well. So that way, because I have to do it first, so that's hurt. I'm gonna experience, so all the hours, I think I will continue. And I can really see myself growing up. And I think this later on, after a few years, you will really see me in that ladder to that CXO that I always wanted. So I think that's completely feasible. I'm so confident about it, that now, that's completely a different persona I have now. It was not there. I would not have talked about these kind of words before if you would have ever met me before. So it has completely changed. So now the biggest question is, I have the time. What do I want to do? So now it's a different dilemma of altogether. Like, what do you want to do? Because it was like earlier it was easier. Now it's actually you make
You
again.
know that the
It always
thought,
happens with you.
you know
You
that the
always
thought.
actually, now it's the other way around. The other things got sorted out, so I have the time. Now the bigger questions are coming at it. Okay, you have 1 hour free, then what do you want to do? And trust me, it is a difficult question, that how do I get the time?
Yeah, it's easy to be victim and say, I don't have time.
Ah, that's so
Then
easy.
what do I really want to do with time this time? I
Yes,
think
yes,
that's
yes.
the deeper question that we all need
So
to.
yeah, so it's really opening up all the opportunities for me. So I'll be doing a lot of things. You can see me busy and chilling as well. So you'll see me enjoying and doing new stuff on a regular basis. Yes.
Awesome. Tell everybody about the podcast. I found it so
Oh,
interesting, especially
thank
the
you.
Hindi aspect of it. So tell everybody a little bit about that podcast and how to find you and your work.
Yes. Okay. My podcast name is Simply PI or Simply Pi. You can say it with my initials there. It's in Hindi. I wanted to do something in Hindi content because I find it's a little bit lesser there, and
Let's
I
be honest, it's Hindi and English. You're like doing both,
oh
like
yeah, because
Hindi and English.
yes, because I don't know. It's a bit of a platform thingy also. The platform is so much English friendly that doing it in Hindi is a little bit difficult. But yeah, I'm trying to balance it out because I don't even know the audience. So let's try to balance it out. But it's nice to do a little bit of Hindi for sure. Um, the idea is to connect, to share things on things. As I said, my mantra is to make things simple. I think a lot of things in my life, I keep it simple. My thought process around a lot of small things and sometimes big things is very much straightforward and very uncomplicated. So I will try to share it. And I think in the podcast I want to talk to people who have already sorted things in their life sphere, and I've kept my subject quite open, so you can have like a mixed bag of lot of subjects, from really work related stuff, fun related stuff, sometimes about fitness, parenting as well. And I also want to talk about like bigger topics that are in trend, like sustainability, environment, something that is really trending, but try to simplify for ourselves so that it's easier to adopt it and not get daunted about it. So that's the thing. Hope I'll be able to share my experience and experience of some other people who I can reach out to in my podcast, and a short bit that can help you thinking and make things easier and simplified for you. So that's the idea behind it. It's in all the major platforms: Apple, Spotify, Anchor, anywhere you want to search it. The name is Simplify, SIMPLIPI. And yeah, I think you can share the link as well.
Share that in show notes. I
Yeah,
can share. Now that you
yeah.
understand this language of show notes, right?
Yeah, yeah,
You're
yeah.
a
Yes.
podcaster now. Yay.
Hey, so yeah, you can share it there. Please have a listen, and yeah, of course, I'm so eager to have feedbacks from you. Good ones, bad ones, I love them all. So please share it because just a start. So I'm open to everything. I want to keep doing it, and any suggestions are more than welcome. So Kavita, you can share it. I hope to have more listeners and some more feedbacks around it. Yes. Yeah.
Absolutely. You guys should give it a listen. I listened to one episode. It's called Hard Work versus Smart Work. And I just loved it. It is very short, unlike mine. It's like what, say 17 minutes. So it gives you a lot of value in that time. And I love the Hindi that you used. I didn't even know, Priyanka, that you knew such good Hindi. My listenership is like English because I do have others as well. But I think you do cover some of the English pieces
Yeah,
in
yeah. Yeah, I kept it a bit of the common lingo these days, because yeah, because everything, if you also make it too much also in one spectrum, a lot of people don't like it because it becomes a little bit heavy duty, because of the way we are have digital content,
yeah.
it's English there. So if you suddenly have a different context, sometimes it becomes difficult. So I kept it a little bit simpler by mixing it both. You will have examples which are mixed in both languages. So, but yeah, the idea is to just make it enjoyable for you to listen to. Yeah.
And I love that you've shared like your own experiences and brought that to life from
Yeah.
your the whole promotion thing and all of
Yes.
that. So it's wonderful. I would encourage you guys to listen in and share feedback with Priyanka. I'll share her link and Insta details in the show notes, and
Yes.
do share with us how you like it. And thank you so much, Priyanka, for being
Yeah.
such a dear and sharing this experience with everybody. It's generous of you to take out that time to share this experience. And I know for sure it's going to help a lot of women make that decision to take
I
care.
hope so too. And the pleasure is all mine. I hope whoever is listening, if you are reaching out for anything in your life and you want a bit of like an accelerator or you want help, support, I think this is for you. So please, I think you can go for it. I can vouch for it for sure. Yes. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes.
Awesome. I'll let you go. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. Bye. Bye. Yeah.